Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. So, I've never been this excited to produce and publish a video for you guys. And, I want to give a shout out to someone who helped make this video possible, and it is one of you in the comment section. So, I'm not sure if that person would be okay with me saying their name, but they know who they are. So, they were talking about their experiences with astral travel and how reaching different levels in that experience requires you to go through a worthiness test. And when I was pitched the idea of creating this video, my first initial response was cool, but not now, or I'm not ready yet. And then the guides, Kryon specifically, reminded me of that comment from that person. And that was a really big deal for me. So I'm very grateful for you out there who did that for me. And you should know on your spiritual path, on this journey of self-discovery, you're going to reach that worthiness checkpoint very frequently. So what happens when you're doing that? So you're going along and you are, working on yourself, and then you reach a threshold. And that threshold is move forward into something new or revert backwards and continue to study the illusion. And either choice is fine, but you should know that along your path, your guides are walking with you, studying you. And, when you get to those decision points, it's like they're behind the scenes with a pen and pad, ready to take notes, ready to document the experience. And then you either, go backwards and continue learning, which is fine, or you move forward and they celebrate. So anytime you can break through that worthiness barrier, the guides celebrate. And I was very grateful that they reminded me of that comment, and they put me in check. Where's the worthiness? Why would you put something off until later that can be done now and that can be beneficial to people in your little community? So I was able to look back and study my initial response to that, and I had questions. Why was my initial reaction that I wasn't ready or it wasn't time yet? And I asked the guides, what would cause me to respond like that? And the answer I received back was, the crown is heavy. And that struck me as being really interesting, and that's a good reference for how your guides see you. And you guys should know that you are royalty. You are literally cosmic royalty. And, it doesn't matter what the illusion tells you. You should know that your story is not an underdog story. You are absolutely the top dog in this reality and beyond. You didn't come here to play the odds. You came here to set the odds. So let me ask you right now, before we get into a state of meditation and make contact with, our beloved Kryon, are you worthy to have that experience? Do you deserve to have that personal breakthrough? Do you deserve to feel this family and the support team that is here working this puzzle with you? And the answer to that question should be absolutely yes. And if that was your answer, then, I have a strong feeling that we are going to be successful in what we're about to do. So the reason that I chose meeting Kryon, or Kryon chose me to produce this video, is because a lot of you already have a personal relationship with Kryon and have experienced this for yourself already. And if you're new, the Kryon energy transcends density very easily. So we are going to enter our Akashic records and make the odds of having a personal experience that much more likely. So, we could spend a year together every day discussing the ins and outs and the nuts and bolts of the Akashic records and how to enter them. So this is not the long way of getting into the Akashic records. This is the short, condensed way of doing that, but it's effective nonetheless. And one thing that you should know about entering the Akashic records is that it is a balancing act. It is a vibrational balancing act. And we are going to perform a sacred ritual that is going to help you balance better. It's going to help you stay in that high vibrational state that we need to be in to, generate this experience we're looking for. how do you stay balanced in that space? How do you maintain your awareness in that space? So here's what it looks like. A lot of people enter the Akashic records and they don't know, or a lot of people are entering the Akashic records and they're not able to stay there. So what they have to do is focus on their breath and use that breath as a means to stay present. So what do I mean by that? So we're meditating, we're getting our mind still, we're staying there, we're hitting that sweet spot and we're about to break through the density, and then the mind starts to take over and we start to tip. We get ourselves back and then the ego starts to take over and we start to tip. So if you've done a session with me, you know that my breath is very involved in that process. So here's what's happening visually when I'm doing that. So we're reading the records, we're getting information, and then I start to fall over, and then what does that do? Puts me right back on that little sweet spot, and we continue, and then the session goes on, start to fall. Here we are back in that vibrational sweet spot that we need to be at. So we are going to do this ritual. Just follow my instructions, use your breath, stay present, and speak the affirmations out loud if you can. If not, do them internally, that's okay. But we are going to vibrationally enter our records. If you're able to visually enter the records, please do so. But we are going to enter the records with the purpose of calibrating our senses, amplifying them, and then finding the path of least resistance to bring forward a personal experience. That personal experience being a meeting with Kryon in the physical, a meeting that registers in the cells, a meeting that gets you excited on all levels, a meeting that acts as a fuel source that is going to propel you going forward. And I truly 100% believe that, and that is based on personal experience and dedicating myself to this process. So give it everything you've got. If you don't have a personal experience, keep trying. One thing that I know about the universe is that the universe loves persistence. The universe loves consistency. And the universe loves to show up for those who are putting everything on the line in the now moment with the hopes of experiencing something outside of themselves, or experiencing something internally and bringing that internal energy forward. So here we go. Get yourself comfortable and follow my lead. We are going to give specific verbal instructions for our energy centers to respond to, and that instruction is going to be solidified with the breath. With this breath, I release the ego. With this breath, I still the mind. Let your breath fill the lungs, and exhale that breath slowly so that we stay in that moment of presence that much longer. With this breath, I relax the body. With this breath, I align with the energies of Gaia. With this breath, I call forward the energy of the ethers. With this breath, I call in the light. With this breath, I activate the emotional body. So this is the final command. Stay with me and state your own name. With this breath, I open the Akashic records of Todd Bryson. So let it be known that we have vibrationally accessed the Akashic records in this now moment. The universe has heard your intentions. They are responding to your free will. And the masters who maintain this space have held the door open for us. There is no mind to interrupt us. There is no ego to diminish this experience. There is no discomfort in the body that would pull us out of this state. And as your cells get acclimated to the energies of this high vibrational space, I will share some information with you. Do you need to open the Akashic records to communicate with Kryon? Do you need to open the Akashic records to feel Kryon's presence? And the answer to that is absolutely not. So Kryon is present with you at all times in every moment of your existence. So what we are doing is vibrationally going to their level, meeting them halfway, and making the veil that much thinner so that the personal experience can register in the cells easier. So that's why we've called forward the emotional body to be involved in this experience, so that when the energies do come through, when the experience does happen, it hits on all cylinders. Having the emotional body involved allows the intuition to come through much clearer, and it allows the data that's been received to stick around for you to study. The energy body holds that information in the cells and in your field long enough for you to apply it, long enough for you to study it and implement the instructions or benefits or whatever the download is going forward. So Cryon's already here. A lot of you know that, and I'm sure many of you have already made contact or felt that presence in some form or another. We just want to officially state our intentions and give permission to allow access to the vessel. So state out loud, "Dear Kryon, I give you permission in this now moment to bring forward a personal experience that will resonate in my cells and allow me to pursue the high vibrational path much easier." Kryon would like to use our palms. The palms are very sensitive energetically. The palms and the hands are a very important energy center for receiving and sending. So we're going to take a few different approaches so that you can see where your strengths are psychically, and so that we have somewhere a reference point to build from going forward. Palms on your lap, facing up. Dear Kryon, I know you are here with me now. Please make your presence known. Allow yourself to be vulnerable in this moment. You deserve it. The inner child is excited. Dear Kryon, please touch my right palm. There it is. Thank you. Dear Kryon, please touch my left palm. And there it is. Thank you. It's going to be very subtle, barely noticeable. It's going to feel as if it's a breath or the tickle of a feather. Dear Kryon, please touch my right palm again, but make it stronger, more noticeable. Thank you. Dear Kryon, please touch my left palm and make it as noticeable as you can. That one was really strong. Thank you. Dear Kryon, please use my heart chakra to bring forward the energy of love. Thank you. So that's as strong as I've ever felt it personally. Dear Kryon, please use the throat chakra to let me know that I'm being heard at this time. And please use the emotion and the sensation of joy Stay with us. Don't let the mind pull you away. We've instructed it not to. It's not allowed to. Take a breath if you need to. Dear Kryon, please use the third eye to visually represent your presence in the form of the color violet. And let that color seep out of your third eye. Dear Kryon, please use the third eye to show us the color blue. And there it is. If you don't get the download immediately, don't automatically give up or write it off. Give yourself a few seconds. There could be some lag time, and that's perfectly normal. Dear Kryon, please use my third eye to show me a visual representation of crested light. And there it is. Let that light peel back the layers of density on the third eye. Okay. For this next one, Kryon has asked that we move our body in a subtle counterclockwise motion. Get the energy moving, get that vortex working in the crown. Dear Kryon, please use the crown chakra to bring us clarity, to bring us comfort and insight. We have been asked to personally communicate with our innate, our smart body, bring it into alignment, and let it act as a bridge between worlds. We are asking our body and our cells at this time to physically experience the energies of Kryon and those of the upper dimensions. This is proof to you that your entourage is close, that you can communicate with them and you can interact with them. The innate has heard our call and has opened the portal of communication to the cells. Dear Kryon, please make me aware of your presence through providing a cellular response. And there it is. Like a wave of peace and bliss touching every cell. Every cell gets excited. Every piece of hair on the body stands up. And I honestly don't want to leave. This is as responsive as my system has been. Pause if you need to, but we're going to move on to the final steps of the process. And we have been asked to complement and amplify this process with 3 breaths. For these 3 breaths, we want to empty the lungs of air, and we want to fill the lungs to capacity. And on our exhale, it needs to be slow and deliberate. Dear Kryon, please use the entirety of our energetic and our physical tool set to bring forward a personal experience that will change us energetically for the better and will rewrite our cellular memory so that we can be the embodiment of our higher selves and move from this place differently. I give you permission . Thank you. So I didn't really know what to expect. This has been a very nice breakthrough for me. And, I'm very grateful for you guys and what you've contributed to this now moment we're sharing together. Stay here as long as you'd like. Press pause. Before we say goodbye, we will ask Kryon to bring forward any information that is important for us to hear at this time. Before we say goodbye, I want to give thanks to Kryon, to our guides, and to the lords and the keepers of the Akashic records. This is home. This is somewhere we can return to as a safe refuge at any point in time. This is a place for our soul not just to record its experience, but to recharge its batteries and to cleanse itself so that it can experience reality from a fresh perspective. With this breath, I close the Akashic records. Well, that was fun. Thank you very much, you guys. I had a lot of breakthroughs in that, that short little session. So it is true when they say that there are few things more powerful and impactful energetically than when all souls come together with a common intent. And we've received proof of that today. And if you missed out on having that experience, keep trying. Honestly, keep trying. It's worth it. Even if you fail a million times, that 1,000,001st time you try and you're successful at makes everything that came before, all the trial and error, well worth it. And, it's worth the discipline, it's worth the wait, and it's worth having patience for something at a cellular level is there for you to have. So in my excitement at the beginning of this video, I didn't discuss much about this project, but the Akashic Remembrance Project is similar to what you've experienced today. It is something that I do weekly. So structurally, the Akashic Remembrance Project is going to look like what we did today, but it's going to be, switched up, and there's going to be something new every week, and there's new activations to be had, there's new communication to be had, there's new masters to meet, there's new guides to meet, there's going to be relatives, loved ones, ancestors, and, the entire entourage there to reunite with and commune with. So I want to say thank you again, and I will see you next time.